Okay, hello everyone, guys. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. How are you all? Good afternoon, everyone. How are you all? Everyone, just please comment once about the audio and video of the class. Is everything is working fine for all of you? Hi, guys. Hello, how are you? All thing is clear. Audio, video, everything is clear. Everything is working fine. Okay, so I welcome you all in today's session. So we are going to start Unit 26, that is different mode of charging securities. This is PPB Module B. This is different modes of charging securities, Unit 26. We are going to discuss the most important part related to this chapter. Everyone, it's a kind request from my side before starting this session that please like and share the video to the maximum you can. And if you haven't subscribed this channel yet, it's a request that please subscribe this channel and press the bell notification icon, everyone. Okay, hello everyone. Hi guys. Okay, so let's start discussing this topic. Okay, the first is the meaning and essentials of the contract. First is the meaning and essential of contract. So what is a contract? If we talk about contract, what is this contract means? So if we talk about the law which is governing the contract in India is the Indian Contract Act 1872. So Indian Contract Act 1872, they are governing contract. So the contract is actually divided into two parts. This act is broadly divided into two parts, part one and part second, right? So part one means these are the general principles of a contract which is available, applicable to all types of contract, right? The second part deals with the special types of contract like indemnities or guarantees. These are the special types of contract. Okay. Part two is actually related to the special type of contract, and part one, these are applicable to all type of contract. So if we talk about the contract, what is the meaning of contract? So contract are those agreements which are enforceable by law. Enforceable by law means that if there is a default which happens from the counterparty, so if the default happens from any of the counterparty, you can go to the court against that party, right? This is known as enforceability, means it has legal obligations. You can go against that party in the right. It has some major constituents, right? So what is a contract? First of all, it should be an agreement between two or more person, and the agreement should be enforceable by law. It means that they have the rights and obligation arising out of it. Now there are certain characteristics which need to be satisfied for enforceability. So there are certain things which need to be satisfied for foreseeability. Like, first of all, it should be made by the free consent of all the parties. So, whatever the parties are, it should be made by the free consent of all the parties. There should be a lawful consideration for these. There should be what? There should be a lawful consideration for these. It should be made with a lawful object. Okay, so you are making an agreement for a lawful object. Okay, nothing which are restricted or which are not allowed legally. Last, it should not be declared as violent, which are expressively mentioned in the Indian Contract Act. Like, for example, if there is an unsound person, okay, unsound mind person, if there is a minor, if there is a insolvent person, right? So these are those person to which actually the contract is not valid. If you are making an agreement with any of these, it is not valid. It is void ab initio. It means that it is not valid from the very first step. So these are expressively mentioned in the Indian Contract Act that agreement made with unsound mind, minor or insolvent person, these are not wired, right? So it should be made by the free consent. Lawful consideration should be given. There should be a lawful object, and it should not be declared as a buyer, which are expressively mentioned in the Indian Contract Act. Clear? Now, next, if we talk about the meaning and essential of the contract, now meaning and essential of the contract, all agreements. So this is very important. See, Agreement is a very broader term, right? Under agreement, there are various agreements between the parties, and these are actually two categories. Some are enforceable by law, and some are not enforceable by law. Some are enforceable by law, and some are not enforceable by law, right? So if we talk about the agreements, if we talk about the agreement, these are should be made by the free consent of the parties, and there should be enforceability for a contract. So if we talk about this situation, yes, contract are those agreements which are enforceable by law. So by this we can come to a conclusion that all contracts come under agreement. Yes, because under agreement there are portions which are not enforceable and there are portions which are enforceable, right? So those which are enforceable, these are contracts. So all contracts are technically agreement, right? But all agreements are not contract. Why? Because under agreement there are both enforceability and non-enforceability. So all those agreements which are enforceable, only those agreements are contracts. So all agreements are not necessarily to be a contract, but all contract are agreements. So if we talk about this figure, this is very important. Just see this. This is an agreement. This is an agreement. Okay, and this is enforceability by law. So agreement and enforceability, when these intersect, these are considered as the contract, right? These are considered as the contract. So contract are those agreements which are enforceable by law. Clear? Everyone? Yes or no? Yes or no? If you have any doubt, you can ask your doubt. Everyone, if you have any doubt in this, you can ask your doubt. No doubt? Clear? Everyone? This is a very important slide. See, you can get a very good quality questions, case studies from these slides. So you need to focus on these concepts, okay? Contracts and agreements. These are very important from the examination point of view, okay? Now, next, if we talk about the key components of a contract, now what are the key components of a contract? So, when a person signifies to another person his willingness to do or not to do something with a view to obtain the consent from the other parties, then it is known as what? Proposal. So, when any person signifies to another person that his willingness to do something or his willingness to not to do something, right? To do or not to do something with a view to obtain the consent of the other person. It is actually with a view to obtain what? To obtain the consent from other person. This is need to be, or this is known as a proposal, right? And when a person to whom the proposal is made, when a person to whom the proposal is made signifies his consent, accept that proposal, then it is known as accepted. And when a proposal is actually accepted, it becomes a promise. So there are two concepts. There is proposal, and when proposal is accepted, okay, then it become what? Promise, right? So the one who is making the proposal, okay, one who is initiating or making the proposal, he or she is called as the promiser, and the one who is accepting is called as a promisee. The one who is accepting it is called as a promisee. So these are the key components of a contract. These are what? These are the key components of a contract, right? Now, essentials of a valid contract. So now what are the essentials of the valid contract? There is each and everything which is important in these slides. So kindly just please focus on these slides, because you will get questions from here in the examination. And obviously this is very important to understand. Okay. So let's start. What are the essentials of a valid contract, right? So, first of all, there is a proposal and there is an acceptance. So, one is proposing and one is accepting. When the proposal is made and when it is accepted, then it become what? It become a promise. Then it become what? It become a promise, right? An agreement, it can be oral or it can be in written. There are two things. An agreement, it can be oral. An agreement can be in written, right? There should be a consideration. It should be made with the free consent of party, and that person should have a capacity to contract. right? Last, the minor contract. So very important thing, an agreement which is made with the minor is considered as void ab initio, means it is invalid from the very initial stage, invalid from the very initial stage. So it is actually invalid for the very from the very initial stages, right? Now, if we talk about this, the principle behind that is that a minor is supposed to have a mature judgment and is not supposed to have a mature judgment, and hence he cannot decide what is good or bad for him. And that's why a minor not liable to perform any promise made by him under the agreement. So the contract which is made by the minor, it is actually void ab initio, means it is actually invalid from the very initial stages. It is invalid for the very first stage, right? Now, if we talk about the contract of agency, if we talk about what? If we talk about the contract of agency. Now, if we talk about the contract of agency, the agent and principal, these are defined under Section 182 of the Indian Contract Act 1870. Okay, Section 182 of Indian Contract Act of 1872. Agent is the person who is acting on the behalf of the principal. Principal is the person who is giving instruction to agent. Principal always give instructions to whom? Instructions to agent. And agent is the person who is acting on the behalf of the principal, right? And the contract between the principal and the agent is the contract itself, right? And it is governed by the normal rules of the contract. Now, what are the authority of the agent? If we talk about the authority, it can be expressed, it can be implied. Expressed means it can be written, and implied means it is understood. It can be understood, right? Next, the extent. You have to define the extent of the authority of an agent. What is the extent of the authority of the agent? If we talk about the emergency, yes, it is in the case of emergency, what is the agent who is acting on the behalf of agent, right? There is no delegation of the authority. And if you exceed the authority, what is the decision of the principal? Now, what is no delegation? No delegation means, for example, if I have given some work to the agent, right? On my accent, you have to perform this function. Now, it is important to note that you as an agent cannot move this function forward. There is a no delegation of authority. If I have made a contract with you as an agent and principal, so you are responsible for executing that task. You cannot forward this task to anyone else. So this is known as no delegation of authority, right? If we talk about the termination of agency, so in which cases the agency is terminated? Okay, so first of all, the principal himself or herself revoke his authority, right? Second, the agent renouncing giving up the business of the agency. Third, the business of the agency being completed. Fourth, either the principal or the agent dying or become unsound mind, or the principal become an insolvent. So in all these cases, there is the termination of the agency, right? So this is the important part of this chapter. See, I have just explained the a very important part of this chapter. I have not completed the whole chapter. See, whole chapter is actually completed once every in the paid class, right? So the whole chapter is actually completed in the paid classes, right? So everyone, if you have understood, just please tell me. If you have any doubt, you are free to ask your doubt. Everyone, guys. If you have any doubt, you are free to ask your doubt. Everyone, guys. That now. I'm telling before going, I'm just telling you about this JIB Super Elite all-in-one subscription, guys. If you want to study the chapter in detail and you don't want to miss out each and every detail of the chapter, you can just enroll in this JIB Super Elite all-in-one subscription, in which you will get the access of live classes, mock tests, notes. You will get the live classes, all the batches, 200 plus tests with AI analysis. You will get the case studies, special doubt sessions, the special session for the previous cycle papers. You will all get this, right? And there is a very good discount that is going on. So if you are using this code currently xweeks, right, if you are using this code, you will get a flat 50% off on the JIP Super Elite all-in-one subscription. Okay, so just it's a request, guys. If you haven't subscribed and if you haven't take this JIB Super Elite subscription, just take the benefit of this flat 50% off on the JIB and CIP Super Elite plan, right? And if you are taking this plan, you will get the access of all these courses. So there is a Foundation 2.0 badge, there is a DBF selection badge, there is a foundation badge, English and in bilingual medium. There are master batches in both medium. There are RBWM and AFM batches in both the mediums. So you will get the access of all these batches under one roof. So just go and enroll in this JIP Super Elite all-in-one subscription. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining this session. I hope that you have all understood this session. I hope that you have all enjoyed this session. If you have enjoyed this session, just please like and share the video to the maximum you can. Everyone, it's a request. See, this is a new channel, and we have started this session or this new channel, especially for those students who are comfortable in English medium. And the data says that data of YouTube says that many of you are watching the sessions, you are taking the benefit of the session, and you're not subscribing the session. 50% of the subscriber are like this. So my request is, if you're liking the session, if you have understood what you are getting, you are downloading the free PDFs from the app, right? You are getting everything here. Why you haven't subscribed the channels? It's just a request from my side that please subscribe the channel if you find it useful. Please subscribe the channel, press the bell notification icon, just like and share the video to the maximum you can, so that we educators are also motivated to bring more and more sessions for all of you. Right? So thank you so much. I hope that you have all understood this session. Till then, take care. Then meet you in the next class. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.